One Zambia, One Nation. Thanks for joining us on Zanis News. To present, my name is Juliet Mutale. The headlines. Kansanshi Mine renovates 3 health facilities in Solwezi district. Worldwide Fund for Nature launches conservation project in Choma district. Government provides desks for schools in Lufonyama district. Zanis News in detail. Kansanshi Mine in Solwezi district, Northwestern Province, has renovated and handed over 3 health facilities to provincial administration, and Solwezi Municipal Council has commended the mining company for supporting government in providing quality health care services to the people. Chaibu Nkoma now reports.
Government's advocate for public-private partnership (PPP) to enhance national development is taking root in Northwestern Province. In Solwezi district, Kansanshi Mine has renovated 3 health structures at 887,000 kwacha. Solwezi Mayor Remi Kalepa receives the renovated health facilities at a ceremony held at Kainamfumu Health Post.
I am very delighted to be here today and receive the renovated Kainamfumu Clinic. On behalf of the people of Solwezi and in particular the people of Kainamfumu, I would like to thank First Quantum Minerals. This marvelous work. This has greatly improved the image of this facility.
Kansanshi Mine Corporate Social Responsibility Supervisor Victor Nsana urges the community members to take responsibility of their health.
The most important thing is to work towards having good health so that you do not have to go to the clinic. If we deliberately work towards a lifestyle change, then we will find ourselves not even having to go to the clinic for the whole year.
Edson Kajimuka, Kainamfumu Health Post in charge, is the occupant of the newly constructed staff house.
Been moving at 2 kilometers from where I used to, where I was accommodated. So it was really rough for me to come and attend to people at night, especially during deliveries. Now, this time, the house is near the facility. I'm able to wake up at any given time, attend to people.
The community is happy with the development. For Zanis News, I am Chaibu Nkoma, Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
In Lusaka Province, the COVID-19 Round 2 vaccination campaign, which commenced on October 3, 2022, has received overwhelming response from the general public. A spot check at Chilenje Level 1 Hospital and Chibolia Combined School found people and pupils lining up to receive the vaccine. Jen Simalumba has details in the following report.
It's the COVID-19 Round 2 vaccination campaign. The 10 days campaign, which commenced on Monday this week, countrywide, is expected to come to an end on the 13th of this month. A check by Zanis at Chilenje Level 1 Hospital and Chibolia Combined School found people and pupils lining up to get the jab.
The situation here is good. Yeah, the response from the teams we have constituted, it's good as well. People are ready. As we are speaking, people are already in the community. Yeah, and we are expecting a very good yield as well.
Move that each and every child, especially those above 12 years, must be vaccinated because we know that health is very cardinal. If the child is not healthy, they will not be able to learn. And even the parents have responded positively, and most of the children here are welcoming the idea of receiving the vaccine.
The people that have been vaccinated have called on the general public to follow suit.
It's very important that one should have the vaccines because once you contract COVID, I think the repercussions are less dangerous than when you don't actually have the vaccine. You can be able to manage it at home than being admitted
COVID-19 is a disease that is caused by a COVID virus, and we can protect ourselves by getting the vaccinations. So we can get the vaccinations so that we can avoid the spread of COVID-19.
Doreen Nakachindi is Kanyama Sub-District Public Health Nurse.
We are 70% as Kanyama Sub-District. Then for children from the age of 12 to 18, we are almost at 50%. Although currently that's when we've received the overwhelming numbers, because the head teachers are working hand in hand with them, together with health workers, and they've really done their job.
The 2022 Round 2 National COVID-19 Vaccination Campaign was launched under the theme, COVID-19 Not Yet Over. Get vaccinated today, your family and your community. Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
Thank you, Jane, for that report. Now, Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tolle has challenged the private sector to promote off-grid energy technologies in order to help increase access to electricity in rural areas. Mr. Tolle says energy is critical in promoting socio-economic development in rural areas, hence government's desire to improve access to electricity. Here are the details.
Increasing access to electricity and renewable energy products remains a priority to government and its cooperating partners. Government is working with partners like the European Union to ensure rural communities have access to sustainable energy, which is key to national development. In Eastern Province, authorities want communities to embrace renewable sources of energy as an alternative to hydropower, which gets affected by climate change.
Zambia's electricity generation is dominated by hydro mechanism, contributing about 81% of the installed capacity. Eastern Province is predominantly rural, with very low access to electricity. This has affected the province in meeting its desired socio-economic development goals. As the government considers to develop the electricity infrastructure in these unserved areas, I wish to encourage the private sector to increase the variety of alternative energy technologies on the market in order to meet the needs of our diverse communities.
The European Union is ready to provide support in increasing access to sustainable energy.
Be rolling out mini grids, solar mini grids in selected areas of Eastern Province. The contracting of the companies to do that has already been done. We are likely to see some of the sites being constructed in the second quarter of 2023.
The people in Eastern Province are ready to embrace initiatives on alternative sources of energy to promote socio-economic development.
So sustainable clean energy is very, very important because we have serious issues of climate change, which is not a very sustainable use of energy. But we've seen that there are methodologies that are coming up here, like the one from the cooperative supported by the government through ZIFU, that is using migamu, viravo, sheva, vakushava, just to make sure that we can be able to create sustainable charcoal and charcoal that does not require us to cut down trees.
The country is this week commemorating the Energy Week, and events have been held in Chipata and two other towns. Abigail Kashweka Zanis in Chipata.
Also in the news tonight, the Worldwide Fund for Nature WWF has launched a conservation project called Kaza Arise to be implemented in Kazungula and Kema districts of southern and western provinces respectively. The project, initially launched in Choma district, is part of the Kanza region's drive to improve global food security through reduced human-animal conflicts and protection of biodiversity. Nchimunya Nalumba reports that Zambia will implement the project alongside Namibia, Botswana and Zimbabwe.
Human-animal conflicts have become a daunting challenge, with the number of wild animals increasingly straying away from national parks into residential areas, thereby threatening human life. This movement is attributed to human activities depleting natural forests in game management areas. The Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, has now launched a program dubbed Kaza Arise, with one of the objectives focusing on reducing human-animal conflicts in the Kaza region.
It was important to protect the whole sum of this geographical area in order to protect the biological diversity and also to ensure that there is more peaceful coexistence between humans and wildlife and between humans and our ecosystems.
The project, valued over 2.6 million euros, is also aimed at improving household food security.
The Kaza Arise project is being launched in an area that is not just important for wildlife, but it's also important for food security. And it's critically important that we become proactive in managing this habitat and these resources.
For Chief Nyawa, continued encroachment into the Chifulo game management area remains a threat to wildlife.
Wildlife in the Chifulo game management is in danger. I'm asking the wildlife to work together with us so that we have those people removed out. I'm glad that the new Dawn government have already promised me that we shall work together in taking out those people.
Southern Province Permanent Secretary Dr. Namani Monze wants increased stakeholder involvement in management of game-protected areas.
Wildlife depends on bushes. National Wildlife Authority does not know how to grow these bushes, but forestry knows how to grow these bushes. So while we are protecting animals from the poachers, we expect that the Department of Forestry will start helping us choosing which trees, for example, we should plant in the forest. That will help us feed the animals. It is important to realize that the objectives of this workshop will only be realized if each one of us contributed their expertise to the forest.
In Chimunya Nalumpa, Zanis, in Choma District, Southern Province.
Zanis News continues. Now the church has called for a countrywide reflection on the role played by the forefathers in liberating the nation from colonial rule. This is ahead of the country's 58th independence anniversary, which falls on October 24th, 2022. Mutale Kani has the details.
Zambia will on October 24 commemorate 58 years of independence from British colonial rule. The theme for this year's celebration is Zambia at 58, promoting inclusiveness towards a sustainable social and economic recovery. The Council of Churches in Zambia, CCZ, is of the view that late First Republican President Kenneth Kaunda laid a strong foundation of unity among citizens, which the country is still enjoying to this day.
Peace basically is something that we should take note of. The 58 years down the line, we should be able to take note that we've not had any military coup. Yes, there have been attempts, but they've been successfully dealt with. And largely we've remained united as a nation. And so I think the unity, our founding father, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, may his soul rest in peace, I think set a good tone by emphasizing one Zambia, one nation, emphasizing national unity. He made sure people from northern province would be sent to southern, sent to northwestern to work. That was a deliberate ploy to make us learn to live together as a united people. And so those are things unique if we are to compare ourselves with other African states. They've known, our neighbors have not known peace, in the last 58 years. It's been one bloody conflict after the other.
And the veteran politician and freedom fighter wants Zambians to reflect on the peace the country has enjoyed since it attained independence in 1964.
Once people start fighting for wealth, starting for positions, that was to put Mozambique in such a situation, Congo in such a situation. And there are many countries that have fallen prey to such situations. Now, you can only talk politics and share ideas where there is unity and peace. And Zambia, when it assisted Angola, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and South Africa, they grouped here, they were camped here when they were fighting for their independence. We preached unity and peace.
Aside from enjoying 58 years of independence, Zambians can reflect on the peace and unity that has taken center stage for close to 6 decades. Mtalakani for Zanis News in Lusaka.
Government has embarked on repairing broken desks for schools in Lufonyama district to address the shortage of furniture in schools. District Education Board Secretary Debs Juma Piris said this when he monitored the progress of works at Kalumbwa Secondary School. Here are the details by Agrippa Silumbwe.
What was almost being regarded as a scrap metal has today been repaired and turned into this nice furniture for pupils. The initiative is used as a short-term measure in reducing the deficit of desks in schools to ensure that no learner continues sitting on the floor in Lufonyama district. The authority is doing close supervision to ensure quality work.
We managed to correct about 450 frames. So far, as you can see in my background there, we have managed to habilitate 52 desks. Our target was to habilitate 100 desks. So from 100 desks, we are remaining about 28 desks. By the end of this week, we shall finish that. The district has a shortfall of 14,000 desks. For every child to sit on a desk.
We are in dire need of the 14,000 desks. And you know, our Republican president has vowed never to continue on that path. So we really need to develop even our pupils to stop sitting on the ground as they get the most needed education.
Earlier, Mr. Mwalikwa briefed teachers on other programs government has lined up to transform the education sector.
New Dawn government has outlined a number of developmental measures which include recruitment of an additional 4,500 teachers.
We are confident that we will receive more teachers next year. However, the unions strongly recommend that priority be given to locals when selecting new teachers for employment.
Meanwhile, stakeholders want government to endeavor considering education as a priority. Reporting, I'm Agrippa Silumbwe, Pabot Province.
The Kasama Municipal Council has presented checks worth over 3 million kwacha to 105 cooperatives in Lukasha and Kasama Central constituencies under the 2022 Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape, who presented the checks to the beneficiaries, emphasized the need for cooperatives to work together in order for the projects to succeed. Here are the details.
The Kasama Municipal Council has handed over 3.9 million kwacha to 110 groups in both Lukasha and Kasama Central constituencies from the 2022 Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape presented the checks to the beneficiaries in Kasama today.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, intends to provide public service equally. The responsible officers, the responsible leaders must ensure that we become more and more responsible, more and more accountable in the resource distribution and also in the selection process of the projects.
And the council has taken time to orient beneficiaries on the importance of following their business proposals. Kasama Mayor Teresa Kolala had words of encouragement to the groups that have not benefited from the grants.
Allow me to encourage women, especially, and the youth, and also all the community groups that are both sexes that applied and they have not been picked to work on the recommendations advised by the appraising team.
Meanwhile, beneficiaries are happy with government for giving them the grants.
These funds we have been given are going to be used prudently. We will make sure that we account for every weight pertaining to these grants. So much so that at the end of the day, we can be able to achieve our aim.
Shibibi Lubasi reporting for Zanis in Kasama District, Northern Province.
50 youth and women groups in Mpika District have received empowerment grants of not less than 1 million kwacha. Mpika Member of Parliament Francis Kapianga is optimistic that the funding will help improve the living standards of community members. Details in the following report.
These are 50 women and youth groups that together have received empowerment grants of more than 1 million kwacha under the Constituency Development Fund. The 2022 CDF grants have been handed over by Mpika Member of Parliament Francis Kapianga. Mr. Kapianga, in his remarks, highlights that this is an opportunity for the beneficiaries to venture into businesses that will create jobs and sustainable businesses.
Cooperatives ayasalirwe yali 50 napalicho okulingana nefunde vintu lyaba bonse mwebasalwa mulingile okupita mu mafunde yakubomfye shindalama.
Mpika District Commissioner David Siame has appealed to more community members to consider making viable applications for Constituency Development Fund.
Let us ensure that before we even make applications, we consult experts in business planning so that even as we present this to the CDF or rather through the ward committees, these projects that will come up with or what we're asking for is going to be very, very, give us a good product at the end of it.
And let me also take this opportunity to warn all the beneficiaries, and they have to make sure that you use the funds properly. So if you mismanage the funds, as a local authority, we shall not hesitate to report you to the law enforcers.
Peggy Coutinho for Zanis in Mpika, Mochinga Province.
Thank you, Peggy, for that report from Mochinga Province. Now, as we end Zanis News, let's take a look at the stories that made headlines. Kansanshi Mine renovates 3 health facilities in Solwezi District. Worldwide Fund for Nature launches conservation project in Choma District. Plus, government provides desks for schools in Lufonyama District. That is all we had for Zanis News. Thank you for staying with us. Now remember, we are one Zambia, one nation. My name is Juliet Mtele saying bye-bye and God bless.